everyone, over the past 5 days, our group recorded everything we ate and I've analysed our fat intake. So the first finding is average daily fat intake. Our group averaged around 46.7 grams of fat per day. That is roughly equivalent to a stick of butter every 3 days. So the second finding is what types of fat that we have taken. So after doing some calculation and research based on our data, we have found that we have taken 60% of unsaturated fat, 37% of saturated fat and 3% of trans fat in average. So the last finding is the comparison between WHO guidelines and our data. So the total fat intake we have passed, saturated fat intake we have passed, but in trans fat we are right at the limit where WHO says we should be. That is coming mainly from the fried chicken, pastries and processed snacks.
I'll be presenting whether our group is consuming too much or too little fat overall. First, based on nutrition guidelines, the recommended daily fat intake for adults is about 20 to 35% of total daily calories. For an average 2000 kilocalorie diet, this is approximately 44 to 78 grams of fat per day. This slide shows the average fat intake of our group across 5 days. You can see that from day 1 to day 5, these values shows that the group's daily fat intake. So overall, the group's fat intake mostly ranges between 33 grams to 53 grams per day. When we compare this with the recommended intake of 44 to 78 grams, we can conclude that most days are within the healthy range. Therefore, the group is not consistently consuming too much fat.
Okay, for my part, I will explain what percentage of our group's fat intake comes from harmful fats, meaning saturated and trans fats. In our group, 69.4% of total fat intake comes from harmful saturated and trans fats, as you can see in this table, which are mainly from fried foods and coconut meat dishes. This exceeds the World Health Organization or WHO guideline to limit saturated and trans fats to less than 10% of the total energy. This also indicates a large portion of our fat is still coming from fried foods, coconut milk, and processed snacks, which may increase risk of cardiovascular disease if continued long term. We should aim to reduce fried items and choose more sources of unsaturated fats like fish, nuts, and oils.
Now we're going to analyze the significant difference in intake between the group members. Sharul and Iman show of the highest intakes, often exceeding 70 to 130 grams daily from fried foods, creamy dishes and rich snacks which high in saturated and trans fats. In contrast, elderly maintain the lowest, typically under 30 until 60 grams, favoring lighter meals and unsaturated fat sources. Irfan and Azri exhibit moderate level with occasional spikes, while Yasmin varies between moderate and higher fat days.
Pattern of fat intake can significantly influence overall health and lipid metabolism. If the diet is high in total fat, it may disrupt normal lipid metabolism by increasing LDL level. Elevated LDL promotes cholesterol deposition in blood vessel walls, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease. Excess fat intake can also lead to increased fat storage in adipose tissue and the liver, contributing to overweight, obesity, and insulin resistance. Conversely, if the diet contains an adequate proportions of healthy fats, such as monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, lipid metabolism is generally more favorable. These fats help improve lipid profiles by lowering LDL, increasing HDL, and reducing inflammation. They also support normal cell membrane structure, hormone production, and energy regulation.
Okay, so now you move and focuses on the strategies on how to reduce the fat intake between our group mates. So for the key findings, we found out that we consume about 1,401 grams fats for all the 5 days, which consists of 972 grams of harmful fat and 428 grams of healthy fat. So these are the chart that we obtained, which are the biggest chart is the harmful fat, which almost consists of 70% of harmful harmful fat. So we conclude that our group mix consists of more harmful fat compared to healthier fat. So instead of consuming a lot of harmful fats, we need to reduce it by consuming more healthier fats. So what are the strategies to reduce the harmful fat intakes among the group mates? So the first one, we can change the cooking method, which is instead of fried the chicken, we can replace it to healthier cooking method like grilling, boiling, or if you want to fry, you can use the air frying method because it will be more healthier and safe for us. So the next one, just now we have concluded the harmful fat in the snack. So instead of those snacks, we can swap it to healthier snacks like yogurt, nuts, fruits, because yogurt is the best one since it contains probiotics, which is good for our gut health. So the next one, for the food portion, even though there are in the pie chart also consists of the healthier fats, but even though the fat is good for our body, we need to take it in a optimal portion. So we need to reduce the portion of the food so that we will not consume a lot of fat. So the last one, we can change the margarine. Just now we have listed the harmful fat, which also consists of the butter sauce. So we can change the margarine because it is a saturated fat. So we can replace it to more healthy fat like olive oil. So that's the strategies that we can, the list that we can do to reduce the fat intake among our group.